Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 19. So, a few things that I want to talk about real fast. One being, I did get a new monitor, which I've always recorded. I don't like sit in front of a TV when I record these. I watch them on my computer, on my monitors, pretty much almost just like when I'm playing games, just I sit a tiny bit farther back than I normally do. I like having a table in front of me that I can rest like my phone and I can take notes on it and stuff like that. Um, but either way, my monitor died and I went and got a new one, but I got a ultra wide QD OLED, so I think the picture is going to be better. I think it's bigger than what I had before. But it's going to be weird having like the black bars on the side since shows aren't ultra wide format. And hopefully everything goes fine. This is my very first video I'm recording on this monitor, so hopefully everything looks okay, everything runs fine, I mean, nothing really records my monitor anyway, so, for you guys, everything should be the same. My camera angle is a little different because, while I was changing monitors, I also cleaned my camera and everything, which also has it in a little bit of a different place, a little more centralized, and I think the camera's moved a little bit more that way, so you can see a little bit more that way than the other videos, um, for the background. But yeah, either way, um, I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks on a OLED monitor. I did watch like 10 seconds, or like not 10 seconds, but like a minute or two of the previous episode just to make sure that everything looked okay and ran okay and everything. But who knows when things change, colors change, lighting changes. I don't know if my settings are fine for when I'm playing games on it, but either way, with all that out of the way, I'm looking forward to this episode, guys. Last time we had the brothers working their way towards each other. We had the Beast Titan show up and also get cannoned. So I don't know what kind of state he's in. Aaron's limping his way over there. But I am excited for our elite crew has like headed out. I think we saw them chilling on a rooftop, kind of like watching and waiting. Uh, but yeah, just kind of we were seeing a lot of our soldiers getting taken down. I'm excited for our like experienced crew to come in and kind of turn the tide on the war, even though it already kind of turned a little bit in our favor with B-Site coming in and taking down the airships and everything. But and Yelena was on some kind of crazy shit last episode with some crazy faces and just standing there posing and all that. So let's jump into it, shall we, guys? We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh man. So I upgraded from a 1920 by 1080p monitor, 16 by 9. So having like the ultra wide like 1440p and everything just it's pretty cool. And just I went from like a normal like IPS panel to a OLED as well, which is just I think I already noticed a difference visually too. Hmm. Oh, look at our crew. A lot of flashbacks to like when they're young in the opening, which is interesting. Two brothers. Hmm. Gee, I wonder who that could mean. Just kidding. Making my way downtown, limping fast. Sorry. Freaking Galliard. Damn. Okay. He just hit him, right? Yeah. Jeez. Oh, well, there goes an arm. Oh, well, okay. Look like it's getting assaulted by flies. Oh, thunder speared. Alright. Man, they're just on horseback with guns. Just surround them and shit. I mean, oh man. I don't think they're really attacking from the rear, right? Because they're like... The soldiers just turned around and started shooting them. That you did there, buddy. Oh. The brother. Galliard's brother. Damn. Shit. Galliard's gonna start moving too. Uh-oh. Oh. Does Zeke care enough? Hmm. Damn. Not necessarily, just Aaron and Zeke as the two brothers from the title. Well, damn. Really? Can he somehow... Damn. Oh. Oh, Pixis. Trying to drink a little bit before he goes. Damn, man. Well, obviously we had some with Levi, but we haven't had Titans in a bit. Here they are. Shit. Well, been a while since we've seen this. Kinda. Like I said, we saw a bit with Levi. Oh, look at that one. Was that Falco's? Damn. Although, if Rhino lets himself get eaten... Damn, his brother. Fuck. Stayed with him till the end. Is he gonna do it? The way, like, it looked down his mouth, almost like, oh shit. Oh, man, it is going right for the neck. Did it dawn on him to let it happen, maybe? Did that hit? Or did he move? I don't know. Oh, okay, here we go. Damn, she went backwards. I feel like it might have already started breaking down before he got shot. Damn. Yeah. Feel so bad for Gabby. He doesn't have a ton of time left either, right? He stopped? Oh no. Oh, Galliard. Oh, is he gonna give... Is he gonna give himself up? Well... Oh! Whoa! Okay. Lock him down there. Shit. Man, he looks so much younger in that shot. I don't know why. The green came back to his eyes. I wonder what, like, the coloring means. Oh, shit. Freaking Gabby. Do you have a freaking sniper? I just had to check the time because I thought it was about to end. Jesus! Right through the neck! I can't imagine he dies, but, like, is he strong enough to regenerate from that? I don't know. Jesus. Oh. Going back. Hmm. Well, I wonder how much of that was truth. Be some shit if he still had the baseball on him, like falls out of his pocket. And my depth perception's kind of off. Hmm. Interesting. Jesus. The bird imagery hasn't just been with Falco, but I just thought of Falco when we saw it with like the intro to season 4. I like the still frame though, and like traveling through it. Kind of cool. Oh geez, did someone shoot Gabby? Oh shit. Oh, he caught his head? Is he alive enough to make a move? Jesus. Just a lot of events that have happened. Oh, was that the person that was molding Zeke's body? Are we going back to the beginning? I want this so bad, please. Please give us information. Hmm. What? the Ymir? Hmm. Huh. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. I got bad news for you, Zeke. Yep. Poor Zeke. I mean, I don't like the euthanization plan either. The bloodshed's never gonna stop anyway, there, buddy. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Can Ymir not see him because he's not royal blood? Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's not good. Well, shit. Alright. That was a cliffhanger and a half, man. What the hell? That was a lot of information. And a lot of, like, turning what we thought how everything worked on its head, which is, like, it's fine because no one truly, I mean, everything everyone knew was just speculation, right? So it's like, but there is, like, you have, like, certain expectations going into it, and then they're like, oh, by the way, I just happen to know that there's another way. But, interesting. So, Zeke spending so much time in this area, 'cause normally, one thing that didn't make 100% sense to me is normally like, the power of the king doesn't take over your mind until you, like, inherit the founding titan. The, like, the brainwashing, renouncing war and everything that happens. But Zeke, even without inheriting the founding titan, was able to find a way to circumvent it without it even affecting him, you know? Like, it's just like an interesting thing. That is it, guys, for episode 19. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting thing, because it's like, normally I can understand if, like, if Zeke were to have taken in the founding titan and then found a way to, like, overcome the brainwashing, that would make sense. But it was like the brainwashing wasn't even happening to him yet, and he already found a way to overcome it, which is just really interesting. Also, how did he know that Ymir would only listen to royal blood? Like, is that to assume that other people who weren't royal blood have been there and were ignored by Ymir? Like, how did he just, like, make an assumption that that's how it worked, you know? That's just a lot of those little questions where I'm like, you know... And also, like, if that's the case, why was Eren able to seemingly be able to control it before, unless that was somehow, like, the will of who he touched, you know? I can't remember her name, but Grisha's first wife was the one that he touched, and that was Founder's blood, and that's why he was able to control the power. If he's not actually able to, like, suddenly he's just not able to control the power, you know, suddenly you have to, like, negotiate in order, like, with Ymir in order for her to, well, not really negotiate. It said she would listen to anyone with the royal blood, but that's assuming that Eren used it before. But I mean, maybe there's something where it was Grisha's first wife that was the one to actually control it, and we all just thought it was Eren doing it. I don't know. Like, because it basically commanded all the Titans to eat her, right? Um, that maybe that was just her way of, like, killing herself in a way. Like, maybe she just wanted to die. But didn't he also command them to go attack Rhina as well? So, like, why, once she was, like, devoured, did they all go do that? I'm not sure. It's just, I mean, I wonder if we'll get answers to those questions, or if we're just, you know, or did I miss something in part of the explanation? It's just interesting that we had this whole thing where Eren touched someone with royal blood, and then he seemingly used the power, seemingly controlled it himself, and now here we are in another situation where Eren is touching someone with royal blood, yet he's ignored, he can't use the power at all, and now the person touching Eren is able to use the power. And somehow Zeke was confident that he knew that the whole time, where he was, like, testing him, and, you know, but Eren, we'll just have to watch more and find out, but yeah, Eren was playing him the whole time. It makes sense. I didn't, like, truly believe that Eren would be for this whole euthanization plan and everything. Like, I talked about how his whole thing is wanting to live freely in this world. You know, why would he want to take away the opportunity of like giving life for everyone else when he's already been oppressed and all that. Uh but yeah, Zeke's ideology, man, it's like he keeps saying that Eren is the one brainwashed by Grisha, but really I think Zeke is the one that's more brainwashed by, the like Zeke just has this fantasy style logic where he thinks that if there are no more Eldian people, there are no more war. But one thing that I don't think, like, no more bloodshed and stuff like that is sure, maybe not against the Eldian people because they're gone, but humanity is still just gonna be at war, you know? Like, look at what Marley has done to other countries, and not even just. I mean, I see his point because, in the context of this world they're living in, they like Marley has weaponized the Titans to fight other countries. Other countries have developed weapons to defend from the Titans. But I can almost guarantee you, like with the way this world is, even if there were no Titans, I think people would have just found other weapons, all these different guns and things and airships and, tanks on train tracks and stuff like that they've created. I feel like all of these things would just be used to wage war rather than the Titans, And Zeke has this like childish idea, in my mind it's childish anyway, that by getting rid of the Eldian people, that war is just gonna stop and everyone's gonna live hunky-dory lives. No, it's just gonna keep going. Like, I don't know. Marley is just gonna attack someone else, to try to get more land, just like they've already been doing. They've already been, like, pushing their borders and stuff that has nothing to do with Eldian people. They're just going after other countries to try to expand their land and everything. So, in my eyes, Eren is just trying to carve himself a place in this world that allows him and, his friends and the people he grew up around and everything to live in, whereas Zeke is kind of living in a fantasy. That's the way I see it, but anyway. In other news, we had the yell happen, so Pixis and a bunch of I can't remember his name, but one of the other soldiers, the one that helped Falco get back to his brother and everything, that guy was kind of nice too. I'm kind of sad I don't know his name. But and all the other soldiers that ingested have been turned, and as far as we know, there's no way to turn them back unless somehow Eren captures the power of the founder and can, if they can like mold the bodies to like not give birth and stuff, maybe he can turn those people back without them needing to like consume a intelligent Titan for that. But Falco did turn. And I thought, I really did. With the way that Reina has been and everything, I really thought that Reina was gonna give himself up, and I think he was. But Galliard showed up first and did it. Now, Galliard said he did all he could do to heal himself that much, but it almost sounded, there was something he said in the way that he worded it that sounded like he was gonna die anyway. Like, so was he just like at his healing limit? Was he like, if he didn't get touched by anyone else and just went off into like a building or whatever and sat there for a long time, would he fully heal up? Or was he actually just gonna like, he was at his healing limit and he was just gonna like bleed out and die? I'm not sure. There was just something that he said that made it sound like he was gonna die anyway. But either way, Galliard decided he had that little bit of memory from Reina of what his brother said, because Galliard always kind of like disliked Reina because it was on that mission that his brother died, and all that, and he should have been there instead of his brother, and all that. Or no, he should have been there with his brother, right? Because I think his brother was the one that was supposed to inherit what Rhina had. So Rhina shouldn't have been there, and his brother would have been there. Like the brothers together would have been there. So, but he had that vision of the brother saying like, "Hey, I talked shit about my brother. I talked you up and made sure that you got the armor titan, and my brother didn't, to protect him from this life and everything. And now he's choosing to give what's left of his life to help Falco." So didn't really expect Falco to be the now interesting. Ooh, okay. So I just put this together. Falco, in like the first episode or something like that, had a vision of like birds and then said like, I felt like I was like flying through the air with swords. You know, basically using ODM gear, it seemed like. And I was really confused about how that would have worked. But with memories being all timey-wimey craziness, this makes actually a lot of sense because Falco is now inheriting the Jaws Titan, which is the one that Ymir had, not the first Ymir, but our Ymir, the one that was friends with Historia and everything. Which means that she would have used ODM gear. She was in the military, so he was probably having some of like timey-wimey Ymir's memories back then, which kind of teased the idea that he would get the, you know, I guess it could have been a lot of different kind of Titans he could have gotten, you know, because I mean, Rhina also was a member of the military and did that too, so it really could have been any of the Titans who have been in the hands of Parody at one point in time, but it yeah, so I guess it doesn't really change much. I was going off this idea that, oh, it kind of teased that it's not going to be Rhina, but it could have been Rhina too, because he used ODM gear as well. But it does still explain that first scene, I think, is because now he's inheriting a Titan, and is gonna be getting some of those memories, which I wonder if, you know, I don't know if there's any kind of merit to what Eren was saying, or if Eren was just bullshitting with his friends, where he was saying that the only reason that Armin is going to visit Annie is because of the memory influence of Bertholdt. I wonder if there could be any kind of memory, like, if that is true. Now, they did speculate that everything Eren said was, like, bullshit, but if that is true at all, could that mean that Ymir could influence the memories, or, like, the actions of Falco, and help have Falco be, like, a little bit more on our side? You know, like, I wonder, obviously Falco's gonna focus on protecting Gabby, I think, no matter what, right? Just because he loves her. But I wonder what side he'll end up, like, falling on in the end. Will he just try to go back with Marley, or what? But yeah, crazy stuff. Now something that was really interesting too, Falco's brother said that I just thought it was kind of like the wording was just kind of funny, where like he's trying to stop his family from being sent to paradise, which I'm pretty sure he means parody. I don't know if that was like a translation issue, or I guess maybe they do kind of call this paradise, but it's kind of funny how they're so brainwashed that Marley has been able to convince them that paradise is bad, you know? Like, I know, like, in their mind it's more of a location, but when you think of paradise, you think of, you know, somewhere, like, blissful and peaceful and stuff like that, which is what parody was supposed to be before Marley kept bringing war to it, you know? But once again, that's another situation where the Eldians just living in peace and everything. And it's also a little ironic that Zeke has conquered the renouncing of war, you know? It's just Zeke, who wants war to end, had to overcome the Eldian urge to be peaceful to like hatch his plan. It's so like counter screwed. Like it really does. Like the more I think about it, the more I feel like the Marley, like the people who are influenced by Marley are just so brainwashed. It's crazy, you know. But anyway, I don't know what the eye coloring means. Like Aaron having like that dead, like they used to be like a greenish, and sometimes they glow more than others earlier in the seasons, and now this time it was like it's been like a pale white for a while, almost like a blind person's eye or whatnot. But then it changed back when he like it's almost like he like woke up again, like came alive again a bit with the eye color and coming back in. I wonder if that's gonna have any kind of like play in the greater story. Is it gonna mean something, or is it just like an artistic choice to show like, you know, like the whole world is like dead to Aaron. He's kind of in this like depressive state, but maybe for that one moment he like woke up and was our like young bright-eyed boy again. Or does it actually mean something more physically in the world? Like when his eyes light up, that's when, you know, something actually like physically is changing about him or whatnot, you know? Or like, is that like just part of the like Attack Titan, you know? Like that was him, because the Attack Titan is supposed to like always be moving forward, you know? Like maybe that was him like, you know, still trying to move forward. So he was using that like ability of the Attack Titan to keep pushing and pressing on, and that's why the eye kind of maybe took the forefront, whereas the other one might be like the more glazed over, like founder kind of look. I don't know. It's just me bullshitting reasons why, but who knows. Um, but yeah, man, just the idea that like the founder Ymir has been like stuck here, like waiting to be commanded, will follow any royal blood's orders, and the idea that she might be the one like sculpting these titans, which it adds some credence to the idea of why they look so like crazy and wacky and stuff, is because like it's just this like young girl here molding them, so they kind of look a little like exaggerated and crazy, right? Like um so I don't know. I'm really curious what we like. Do we learn like I mean, I still just want to go back and learn more about freaking what all happened in the beginning. Like how did Ymir gain that power, and was there really these 1800 years of subjugation, or was that just Marley, you know, propaganda and stuff like that? I don't know. But as we're moving through, I just want more and more information about this world, and I hope I'm satisfied by the end, but we'll see. I have already accepted that if they don't show all that, it's basically just the idea that the world is always in war. There was probably bad shit that Eldians did before, there's probably bad shit that Marleyans did before in the first, like, 1800 years. Where they seem to blame it all on Eldians. I imagine it's just humanity and war is just a part of this world, and it's not going anywhere. So that's kind of my justification if we don't get more of those answers. But I would love more of those answers. And, I mean, hell, obviously the big question is, how'd this Titan thing start in the beginning? Like, you know, going all the way back to Ymir at the very start. Like, what was it that, like, allowed her to become a Titan in the first place, and stuff like that? I don't know. But anyways, it's gonna be it from me, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. There's 2 episodes ahead of time on there. Link in the description below should be popping up on the screen, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.